Executions, imprisonment and morbid fear await the Most Haunted team as we travel to Oxford.
Did you catch it from a lady of the night?
This week, I've brought the team to a place where murder and misery were the order of the day. Welcome to Most Haunted and Oxford Castle. Oxford Castle was originally built for William the Conqueror and used as a place of incarceration. In less enlightened times, its barbaric punishments included ear cropping, tongue boring, branding and whipping. Many executions were also carried out here, its most infamous executioner being hangman Jack Ketch. The castle finally closed as a prison in 1996 and has recently reopened as a tourist attraction, now known as Oxford Castle Unlocked. Unsurprisingly, with such a brutal history of inhumanity, it is said to be rife with paranormal activity. This bleak, forbidding place is the crypt. It dates back over 900 years and has been witness to every single event in the castle's history. Ghostly guards are said to wander this area in the dead of night, looking for prisoners to lock up. The most scary phantom that lurks here in the dark is that of a large monk, said to be very aggressive. He's been heard shouting and using the foulest of obscenities. This malevolent spirit is also known to physically attack people and is thought to be behind the poltergeist activity that plagues the castle. Mary Blandy was hanged here in the castle in 1752 after her lover left her to face trial on her own. Since her execution, she haunts this whole area, specifically targeting men looking for revenge on her lover. Her deathly moans can be heard throughout the night, and so terrifying is this apparition that it is said to frighten the most hardened of investigators. A well still exists under the mound, and during excavations, numerous skeletons were found. So is the well connected to an oubliette, which many believe existed here and is responsible for the spirits of forgotten prisoners that disturb this area? What more could historian Leslie Smith tell us of the castle's checkered past?
Historically, the castle's absolutely thrilling. It's another example of an outstanding building put together by, initially, William the Conqueror when he came here, given to one of his great French barons who'd been a great military leader, a chap called D'Oyly, who built this place. Initially, of course, it would have been wood, and the motte is still remaining. That's, of course, the hill outside that some people think may have an oubliette in it. Many of those places thought to have oubliettes in. We'll find out more later. The first time it was recorded as a prison is in 1216, when it was taking care of some unruly students from that fairly well-known university just down the road. But these types of castles were always used as lockups, so it probably was used before then as well. We also have other considerations when we get and leap forward into the Victorian period, and we mustn't forget that moving on and on, this prison was a working prison right up until 1996, as recently as that. And when you touch the walls and the doors, it's very close indeed. Some people who were held here were very infamous in their time.
Given the incredible history of this place, I was interested to know what parapsychologist Dr. Kieran O'Keefe made of the stories and how he was going to approach the coming investigation.
Kieran, we've investigated a lot of jails and prisons, and we always seem to get a lot of activity, poltergeist activity and violence. So I don't really know what I'm expecting here tonight. I hope in a way that we get similar.
You're right to expect it because of having done the same sort of locations before. I, however, am a bit sceptical about any of the phenomena that we may get this evening, apart from phenomena like the poltergeist activity, which has been reported before. So there is this incident, supposedly, of prisoners experiencing poltergeist activity. If that happens in the same sort of location, then I'll be impressed. If any other phenomena happens that doesn't tie into some of the eyewitness accounts, I won't be so impressed, and I'll certainly be more sceptical.
This is very interesting for me with regards to the location of the prison and exactly where we are, because we are surrounded by lots of other buildings, lots of roads, and yet we're sitting here and I can't hear a thing.
I was just about to say about extraneous noise. It is a concern because we're in the middle of the city, but sitting here we can't hear any of the busy traffic. However, it is still something that we have to be aware of because we focused a lot of time in here. Maybe there are other areas of the prison, even the mound too, where you could hear the busy traffic, so it's something to be aware of.
What is the most regular kind of phenomena that's been experienced here?
One of the most exciting parts for me is people reporting regular auditory phenomena. So there's this supposed monk that's been seen, but associated with that are noises, obscenities. So it's a perfect place to do EVP.
We shall see.
The team were desperate to start the investigation of Oxford Castle Unlocked, and joined by guest medium Barry John, we prepared for a lit walk-around so as to gauge his initial response to the psychic energies that he felt were all around us. What terrors would we unleash from this ancient bastion in the coming hours of the night? The Most Haunted team are putting Oxford Castle Unlocked under the paranormal microscope, and joined by guest medium Barry John, we begin with a lit walk-around. What would we uncover in the coming hours?
We've been to many jails in our time investigating haunted locations, haven't we, Kieran?
Yes.
And this is, for me, it doesn't seem too oppressive, it doesn't seem too scary. It seems quite clean, but you're probably seeing it completely different.
Very much so, yes, because I think like a lot of jails, there was this sudden change. You've got the children, you've got the women, you've got the men at the same time. But it's a great feeling because, like you say, you pick up so many different attributes, and I'm aware that as I suddenly turned there, I'm aware of I've got a lady wanting to call us in at the moment.
Well,
it's
let's go in.
great.
Yeah.
Okay. Just carry on, yeah. All right. Because I'm aware that as she was calling us into the room there, I wanted to start crying and weeping for something that I never did, or something that, can I say, I got away with, if that makes sense.
Right.
Okay, what she's talking to me about at the moment. And bless her, as she makes me aware of this, I'm aware also that she would have had children at some point as well, okay, because I want to put a baby in my arms and start rocking a baby to sleep as she's talking.
Do you mean babies here in the prison or later on in life?
Babies in her life, that's all she's telling me about at the moment, but I feel very much as though if I come in here, she'd come in here on her own.
So she would have come in this particular space, so
Yes.
this probably would have been her cell?
Exactly, yeah, this is what I'm feeling at the moment, and again I feel as though She takes my breath away as I'm talking to you. So there was either a position where this lady was possibly executed or hung or something like that, because she's making me aware of I want to put something around my throat as I'm talking to you at the same time. I feel as though she would have been held here very short, though, if that makes sense. And I don't know whether these were long time cells or literally short period cells, but this is what she's drawing my attention to at the
Can
moment.
you see what she looks like?
Probably about your sort of height, but I'm aware she's got a stoop. Okay, which comes quite predominant with her at the moment as she's talking to me. And also what I'm aware of is I want to put like a bushel on the dress a little bit. I want to flare it out. So I know that she's not talking of a present day scenario. She would be taking me back, I'm going to say the 1600 sort of period because of what she's making me aware of at the moment. Okay, darling.
Did you hear that?
I heard that, yeah.
I thought it was you at first going, agreeing.
No, I wasn't. It was up there.
Blimey, that was really... Did you hear it?
Kath and Laura out here, and it's the second time they've heard it from down the end there. So,
That was a male groan, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
well, Kath came up just a minute ago and said, "Did you hear that groan?" I didn't hear it, which means it was coming from the second time. I've just heard it, but it was
That was
from
a male
definitely
groan.
down there.
Leslie, can I just bring Leslie in now? There it is again. Bring Leslie in now. There it is again. Bring Leslie in now. There it is again. Sorry, can you hear that, Leslie?
Extremely clear.
right, we've come out with some information.
Just quickly before you go into that, Kath, who's closer to it, has just said it sounds more, from where she is, it sounds more like a chant than a. It's definitely a moan, but it sounds more like a chant to it.
Right, okay, which is interesting with what the monk Barry said. So we've had monks straight away as soon as we've come in. Sorry, just hearing.
Do you not pick that up?
No, because we're all talking. It seems to be what's happening when we're talking. If there's anybody here, please, if there are any... Please make that noise. Please make the noise again. And again.
I'm just going to go and stand down at the end of the corridor while you carry on talking if it happens again, and see if I can pick up on my mic.
Somewhere over here, in this corner.
Over where?
In this corner,
Yes.
here.
Because with these barrel roofs, you don't know where it rolls.
I feel as though I don't know whether they'd have had some sort of a warder, you know, a prison warder, in effect, welcoming you into the prison, or, well, they wouldn't really welcome you in them days. They'd have literally pulled you in and took everything off you and sold it. But I feel very much as though I want to be around there somewhere.
Well, let's go a little bit further back, if that's how you feel.
And I particularly want to address what we've just been saying, if I can, as well, Barry, because you're right, because of what you've said, 1650, I can tell you that's right. And what else you've said is right too. She did get away with it. It was said she had murdered, but I'm not giving too much because there's more to come. She said she had murdered her newborn child. She was tried, found guilty and hung. It took about 30 minutes to try and hang her. So I'd like to know more about how she got away with it.
Okay.
Your date's right, the choking at the throat is right.
Okay.
And there's so much more to this story.
Yes.
Which hasn't come yet.
No, okay, brilliant.
Okay.
But the monks as well.
Definitely there were monks here.
Okay.
There was definitely a monastery here.
Okay, fantastic. Thank
And
you.
a very one.
The noises are amazing.
Yeah.
You see, you said 1450.
Yeah.
You're quite right to say they'd be here pre-Reformation, you see.
Mm.
So that's right, pre-Henry VIII.
Okay. Okay.
But thank you very much, Leslie.
Good.
Right, let's move back into this bit of the room. You say that there's a gentleman here called Thomas.
Yes.
And he is what?
I want to say it'd be some sort of warder or gate entrance person.
Right, Kieran.
I think it's important that we should be in the corridor,
Right, let's go in the corridor.
if that's where the sound appears to be coming from.
Okay. So, Kieran, you wanted to come into the corridor. We're here.
Yeah,
Shall
there's
we-
a specific reason though, is because, yeah, it sounds like it's coming from here now.
Yeah.
From the corridor, not from the room where you were.
I'll call out, yeah, and see if we get another noise. Please, sir. Please, can you copy me again? Let's make some music together.
Maybe it needs carrying on talking
Yeah,
and discussing
maybe
what's
a
going
little
on
bit.
here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who knows?
So, Thomas, sorry, you think he was a warder? Did you hear that down there?
Yes, really. It sounds like a woman down here.
It was the same. It was the same pictures.
It was, yeah. It's literally as though we're following somebody around. They're not following us, we're following them.
And you think it's this Thomas who's making the noise?
In there I got the sound, the feel of a male, but outside I said I could hear another noise and I felt very feminine with it. I thought it was a female trying to come through and communicate at the same time. But I find it interesting how this noise keeps coming and going, and we have this delayed period in between you asking for the noise and it suddenly answering to us again. We seem to have something definitely going on down the bottom here, because the noise we seem to be following at the moment. But this gentleman who's in there, it doesn't seem to connect now. It seems to be as though we've broken away from
So
his
it's not
presence.
Thomas that's making these noises?
I feel as though we've broken away all of a sudden from
Right.
his presence there, to be honest.
And any description with this man? Can you see what he looks like?
I'm aware of his dress, and I know it's very... the only way I can say it is very suited. It's as though I had trousers but then one of these little waistcoats on underneath, and I'm aware I want a ruffle here or something like that, you know, like a choker ruffle, for instance, is what he's drawing my attention to. And I'm aware of the cuffs at the same time as he's doing that for me.
Does he seem like a nice character or a brusque character, cruel or fair?
He seemed, I'll be honest with you, he seems the kind of gentleman who I'd say was probably fair in these times, because he's making me aware that he would have done deals with people to, as he's putting it to me now, I would have looked after their keep for them.
Right.
Okay. So I feel as though he possibly would have done a few deals. And I want to say also he did a few backhand deals, because I'm aware that as he's doing that, he's also drawing my attention that people would give him things. So he didn't just take things.
Okay.
With the Lit investigation already provoking eerie revelations of an unfortunate woman and Thomas the gatekeeper, we move our investigation into the depths of the castle to see what the crypt may hold in store for us.
For you, Barry, what are you getting in this particular part of the building? We're right at the bottom of the building. Got these fabulous stone arches with these columns, and absolutely fantastic. It scared me to death then. I just saw what was there. Some statues of some hooded figures. I'm glad I saw those now rather than later on in the dark. What are you getting?
Well, as we were starting to walk down, I was aware that I was wanting to start to shuffle a little bit, okay? Because I was aware of other people walking with us, and it was as though I'd got some form of gown on. So I know earlier I picked up on monks, and I'm assuming that this is where they would have come at some point to do some religious work. Is
that somebody's stomach?
What was that?
That's what we get all the time. It was a... But it was very
clear then.
here. It was like just here.
Very clear.
It's you, because Kath didn't hear it.
No, it's right here.
It was here.
Yeah.
I heard that.
Yeah.
It stopped me.
Yeah.
I'm aware that it was. I wanted to shuffle because I could hear this rustling, and I feel very religious as we move in here, and for some reason I'm being drawn as though I need to go to a central point somebody's talking to me of at the moment. Okay, as though it's like, come here. This is where you need to start. This is where you need to start. Praying, in effect, is what I'm being made aware of, because as we start walking and I'm drawing around and looking around, I want to put a cross on the end wall. Okay?
What, that end wall?
On the end wall there, yeah, as though, and I feel as though people would have done this in secret also at some point. It's as though it would have been a religious establishment down here, but people would have done this in secret at some point, as though it was, but there must have been somebody hiding away or coming down here to hide away to pray, if that makes sense, okay? See, I want to say somebody got away from here, as though there was nobility here at some point, and during some form of war or something they're talking to me about, I got away. It was as though I escaped out of a back door somewhere, because I feel, again, I know I said somebody hid and prayed down here, but I feel as though somebody would have been in hiding in the same time down here, okay?
You said when you first came in that you were picking up on this shuffling, cloaked figure of a monk.
Yeah.
Any more on this gentleman?
The only thing I see tied round his belt is my rosary, as he puts it, okay? All right. And I'd have to say Benedict, because I'm getting the name of...
Right, okay.
Okay, Benedict is writing out for me at the moment. And I want to flip open my prayer book and start praying for you.
Right. Any other name with him?
No, not at the moment. That's the only name I'm picking up predominantly with him at the moment. I feel as...
Flipping it, that was loud. Did you hear that? Yeah.
Because I'm feeling as though this is an everyday sort of ritual for him. It's as though, literally, I want to shuffle down the corridor every day. And he talks to me, bless him, of my 7 o'clock a.m. time was my pray time. My 7 o'clock in the morning was my pray time.
What time period are we talking about here with this gentleman?
Mid-1400 period as I'm going back, because, again, I know that he was doing this as part of his religion, is what he's telling me.
And any colour with the cloak?
Brown.
Sorry.
Brown.
Brown, okay.
Yeah. But I'm aware it's got a hood on it, and the hood would have had like a point at the back. It wasn't a flat back.
Yes.
It was literally a pointed back. And as I pull it up over my face, I want it to come forward, as though it would have hidden me at times.
Right. And do you think he shows himself down here? Do you think people see this monk?
He's made himself aware. I feel as though he's thrown things down here before.
Why would he throw things if
To
he was...
prove that he's here. This
Right.
is me. This is my space. I'm still here. I want to prove that I'm still here. And I don't feel it as though, from an aggressive point of view, it's a presence. It's as though I need to make it known. I need to make people aware of it.
And is he here now?
I'm aware of his energy.
All right.
I'm aware of his energy building around us at the moment as we start working.
Right. I think this is a place to definitely come back and do a vigil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, without a
Well,
doubt.
before we do that, Leslie, I just want to call you in. We've got a lot of information there about the monks and the time that monks would have been here wearing the brown hooded cloak, point at the back, not flat. Would that make any sense?
Yes, it does. There were definitely monks here, and the prayer time, some of them was in the middle of the night, so they weren't even allowed proper rest. Then you would have the morning prayers, you know, the matins in the mornings, which is what you're hearing. Now, you also said rosary, didn't you? Did you get a sense of what was on the end of the rosary? And I'm particularly interested in that. Was it a cross or a sun or a moon? What have you got?
It wasn't a cross. It was an actual incense ball that was on the bottom. Okay, because I'm aware of the smell of incense as I'm talking.
I'm very
about
interested
it.
in hearing this, and the reason I'm interested is because everybody assumes there were crosses on the end of these, but in fact there very often weren't until the Reformation in this country. There were in Europe. They quite often had brother sun or sister moon. You might also be having, yes, something related to benediction particularly, and that's what I'm interested in as well. But I think the colour's right. What did that? Forgive me for me using that language here, but...
That was a stone, wasn't it? Sorry, that made me jump like hell.
It's a bit likely to, actually.
Was it a stone?
It sounded like it was down here.
It did, didn't it?
I use the word benediction. Some of the words that I'll use, Catholic words of the old faith, or in fact currently used within the faith as well, might be quite stimulating because they may not have been said down here for a very long time.
No, that'd be fantastic. What about doing a Ouija board and a seance down here?
Yes, I think we'll do it really carefully
Yes.
because of the holy issues as well related to it, but it would be very interesting. And there is talk about a monk being down here.
Right, okay, fantastic.
I mean, in a spiritual sense.
Yeah.
I mean, people have seen him quite a lot.
Let's get ready and get ready to turn all the lights off.
Great.
I'm looking forward to that. Not.
Our investigation of Oxford Castle Unlocked has already produced all manner of strange noises and seemingly even stranger tales of monks. Buoyed by our success, we resolve to switch to night vision and take on the phantoms that await us in the darkness. The Most Haunted team are in Oxford and are about to delve into the darkness of its very haunted castle. What will the night ahead hold for the team? It was time for the inevitable. It was time to plunge into darkness, and by switching to night vision cameras, we prepare to hold a séance in the crypt, where guest medium Barry John has already felt the presence of a violent monk. So he joins Kath, Leslie, Carl, Stuart and me at the table. What will our efforts unleash?
If there's anybody here, please, any astral beings, any spirit people that wish to communicate with us, please come forward. If there is a monk here, this is your place.
Yeah.
If this is your place, sir. What did you hear that then?
It's really no.
There's somebody stood in between me and you at the moment. So I'm aware that my hair's moving and I don't know.
Is it a man?
It's male. It's a male energy coming forward. And then you said the table was shaking.
No, that wasn't.
That wasn't your stomach.
That wasn't a stomach, no. It seemed to come from the other side of that. This table is moving like crazy. Look, listen.
That's good.
Feeling like...
If this is a monk, please, sir. Thank you very much for moving the table. Thank you. Thank you very much. Please make a noise. Did you hear that? Carl? That's right.
It's coming from that pillar.
Yeah.
Leslie, are there any particular words that you can use or phrases that this monk would know?
Okay. I come to you, as we all do around this table, that I am of the old faith.
You're right, keep going, Leslie.
And I ask you for forgiveness for anything that may have caused you any offence of our presence here. But we do this in the hope that we may reach through the curtain of life and touch your hand, for we believe that you have a story for us, and ask you with great respect that you come to us. I'm asking for Michael and Gabriel, and for the sake of the women here, that Zoranth and the Thrones may stand with us.
Keep going.
And I ask you this, that you may stand with us in case any dark forces gather here, for there has been fear. As you well know, whoever you are, there has been fear. Ambassadors of the court.
You're right, Leslie.
Sorry. It's all right, it's just my file of papers.
Gosh, it's got very
It's
cold.
really cold to my left.
Gosh, he's coming forward.
Who's coming? Get ready, he says he's coming
I don't know,
forward.
he's just said he's
There's
coming
a breeze
forward
coming.
again.
Who's coming forward? Okay. Barry, any name of this man? Is it the monk?
Not at the moment. It's as though he's really quite angry.
Okay.
And he's angry in religion.
Oh, he's angry in
It's
religion.
as though he was turned to religion and didn't want to. He was turned to religion and didn't want to.
What time period are we talking about here with this man, this angry man?
15 something he wanted to be.
Sorry. Leslie, 15 something.
Right, yes, I think I know what it is. Can I ask you, sir, were you asked to hold the monstrance and you didn't wish to, or did you have to refuse the monstrance?
Keep going, Leslie.
Come on.
Do you believe in the true presence? Do you believe in the true presence and the intercession of the saints?
Throw something. Throw something. Whatever you like, throw something. If you don't want us here, throw something.
It's absolutely draining, isn't it?
This is heavy. This is really heavy.
I should try the glass.
Yeah.
You're right, Stu.
Yeah, fine. Okay. Yeah, okay.
You all right?
If there's anybody here, please, if there's a monk here, or indeed anybody
What
else,
is it, Stu?
Nothing. I'm okay.
please can you move the glass? Please spell out your first name, or please spell a message to us. Please move the glass. Let us know that you're around us. We know you're here, but we just need a message, if indeed you can spell.
He should be a lettered man.
Yeah, he is.
All right, 8. Please continue. Please continue.
He's doing really well here.
If you're a Latin man, show us in English, or Latin, or French. What's that?
Pete. Something's just been thrown over there.
Well, I can hear it like rocks or something, or something.
What have you got?
PQ. PQ. Please continue. 8PQ.
Well, we'll work it out. Let's go further.
Please continue.
SPQ.
P. No. Continue.
What does it say?
PO, what's that? W.
WRX.
Powell Pox.
Ah,
Powell
Pox.
Pox. And what did you say to him? You mentioned.
I am not a doxy. I am not a pox-ridden doxy. This is the French. This is syphilis, you see.
Just put it back in the
Is that the table lifted?
Yes.
There's footsteps down that corridor.
It's moving down there. I'll double check again.
I can hear foot as though somebody's walking towards us.
Please continue. Can you please spell out who gave you the pox?
You see, if he had that, he may have been thrown out of the holy house.
He was here on his own. Did you catch it from a lady of the night?
Careful.
There you go.
You okay, love?
I knew it did.
All right.
You've got your hand on my breast.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, lovely.
I didn't mind. I was quite glad, really.
The séance appears to have unleashed a violent poltergeist, who Barry believes is a monk disgraced in life with a hideous disease that led him to hide his pockmarked face from public scrutiny within the confines of the crypt. The team move back to the prison cells to see what further activity might be provoked.
Is anybody here? If there's any spirit people here? If you were used to be incarcerated here? If you were hanged here? If you worked here? Please make a noise. Please make a noise. Calling out to any astral beings, any spirit people, please can you make a noise? What's up, Wigan?
I just heard a big moan coming down
I
from here.
thought I heard something, but I wasn't sure.
A big moan coming from down here. Forward.
Let's go in here, come on in here.
It's out in here. Somebody stood up here.
Oh, listen. Did you hear that?
What was that?
It was a... It's just as you started to speak.
Carry on talking to.
Do you want me to
Go
carry
on,
on?
yeah, keep talking.
Come on, friend, if you're with us.
Please, did you hear it?
Yes. What's that?
Go on.
Come on, friend. Come forward. Come forward.
I can hear it tapping on the
There's some energy over here. Come forward, friend.
Kieran,
Yes.
bring the thermal imager in here. Point it towards the corner.
To this staging.
On the stage.
Staging.
Is there any source there?
Well, there's a heat source which runs along this entire.
What is that?
There's a noise. It's right behind it, isn't it? Up in the corner. Oh, 2 tap, 1 tap. Is it a radiator pipe?
Yeah. There's nothing there.
Oh, there is.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
Everybody stand still for a sec. Is it again? No? Move feet away from...
Still.
Is anybody here, please? Is it a man? Is it a man?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I thought there was a man person.
Please, please, can you tap clearly for us? Can you tap clearly? Twice if you can hear my voice.
Who's talking?
He was talking, but then it was like a moan, like a. You definitely talk like men talking.
Oh, I thought it was a woman.
It's a woman, but.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like people upstairs again.
Please keep making noises for us. Make some more noises, please. Touch one of us. Walk towards us. Let us see your footsteps. Let us see you. What is that tapping? Is the rain or it sounds like a clock ticking away.
Yeah, there's tapping out there. It's as though somebody's banging on metal. It sounded like a clock ticking.
Yeah, well, that's what I heard earlier on,
Yeah.
but Kira says it's...
And
It's the-
you can trace the source of the tapping.
There's it again.
It's not that tap, is it?
No, you know
It's
what it
another
is?
tap.
What the hell was that?
I heard that was
Oh,
right
out loud.
next to you, Jeff. Did you hear it?
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear it, Simon?
No, did you?
You did?
Well, Jeff, that was right next to
Yeah.
Jeff.
Carl resolves to investigate the tower and its remote upper rooms. Joined by Ian Cash and Jeff Adams, they make their way up the spiralling steps.
So someone's out there. Is anyone else out there? I don't know, is there?
She's just 3 of us.
Anything?
No one. Should we go upstairs?
Yep.
No, that's what I'll go first.
Go on the left.
Oh, did you hear that?
Don't start that shit again. You do that when I'm too far in front of you. What?
So it was the same sort of groan. Oh, did you hear that? Oh, did you hear that?
Look how dark that is, and I've got to walk into it.
Do you want to talk to the camera?
Nah, I want to do it. Turn your torch off.
Camera, so don't break me neck. Oh, you must hear that.
That was a long...
Oh, you must hear that. Oh, you must hear that.
I heard that. I know I heard that.
Right, so it's not in that room, so it must be in that room with the cell, is it?
Huh?
Is it that room where they were all kept prisoner and shit?
There's somebody down there.
Oh.
Can hear some there's a movement down there.
Oh, great, so we've got one in front of us, one behind us.
Just continue down. If I hear that noise again, I'm climbing over both of you to get upstairs, and I'm going to have to abseil down from the top. After me. Oh. Right. Oh,
Do you not hear that?
what do you think I'm trying to climb through Wigan to get past him? Oh. Right. Regardless of anything I hear from now on.
Can we just move away from this open door?
Oh, there's a open door there. I think what we need to do, on the 3, just get down the as we can regardless of what we hear. How's that? No matter what we hear, would you not stop and just get the out?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Obviously shaken by their experience within the tower, Carl, Ian and Jeff beat a hasty retreat. However, I decide that Leslie and I are made of sterner stuff and persuade guest medium Barry John and Stuart to join us to see for ourselves what lurks within its rooms and spiral stairway.
Could you please show us a sign?
The investigation of Oxford Castle Unlocked is about to reach its climax. Whilst Kath and Carl wait below, guest medium Barry John joins Leslie, Stuart and myself as we climb the stairs of the tower that left Carl, Ian and Jeff in a very shaken state. We found ourselves in an empty, dark room.
I won't lock us in. Just going to close this door again now. So. There we go. I've left it open a crack.
Hello? Hello? Are there any spirit people here? Whoa.
Whoa, what was that then?
Could be the wind.
Where was it?
From the door. Something just touched on the door. Or the wind moved it.
Well, we are on floorboards here as well, Yvette, so I mean,
No, it was a definite...
Stamp my feet.
No.
Is it okay? If there's anyone in this room with us now, could you please show us a sign? Whoa, careful. Just everyone calm down. Just calm down.
You alright, you two? Are you okay?
Calm down. You alright, Yvette? Yvette, take this chair. Sit down.
Twisted your foot now?
No, I smacked into it on this bloody stupid thing there.
You alright?
I thought me and you were going.
Are you alright? Well, I got hold of... God, it was like the 18 that was, like the Avengers.
Right, let me go and...
That was the 18th rule.
Just hold on. The door's just closed here. Just hold on. The door is closed.
That doesn't do locked itself.
This door isn't opening.
It's like a voice there, like a...
Who's there? Has anybody got a phone?
I
haven't got one, no.
Have you got a phone?
Yeah.
Good man.
Yeah.
You've got a phone?
Come on, Stuart, don't pick them up.
It's all right, Simon's got a phone.
You mean we've been locked in from the outside?
Yes.
But we didn't hear anybody coming up those stairs?
No.
It isn't possible for someone to have done that. We heard the bolt go.
Yeah.
No, the point being, we would have heard footsteps if anybody had come up.
Yes.
Let me phone Cal now.
You know, before I could actually see light under that door. I could see light under the door, and I can't. And I could see through the keyhole, and I can't. It's literally as though somebody still stood the other side of the door.
It's ringing. Hi, Carl. You all right? I'm with Yvette and everyone else. Where are we?
We're in the second room in the tower. Second room up.
We're in the second room up in the tower.
We're locked in.
Yeah. The door's closed and it's locked.
We can't get out.
The door's locked, yeah.
Just say we're locked in.
Just hang on a sec, mate. Are you there? I'll put you on the speaker so you're
I've got you.
Right, the door's locked.
Just we're locked in, Carl. We just need someone to come up and unbolt it.
Bolted?
Unbolt it.
Unbolt it. Someone's locked us in now. We don't know.
It's probably slammed shut, isn't it?
No.
No, it's locked.
Okay, well, Kath and I are downstairs. We just come up.
They dropped the door or something upstairs.
Well, look, we're at the bottom now. You know what I'm saying?
Right, well, hurry up.
What are you, mate?
Second room.
Second room up.
Second? Okay, mate, I'll climb the stairs now. Stay on the phone. Hang on. I'll just climb upstairs now. There's a first room here. No, you're not in that.
See, we would have heard somebody come up the stairs.
I can hear you. Hang on. Oh, shit. I'm here, yeah.
Right, I'm going to turn you off.
Hold on. Okay.
Right.
Stay in there a second. You all right, Kath?
All right, I'll stay here.
Kath, where are you? What do you mean there's somebody coming? You right?
There's somebody coming up the stairs.
Somebody up the stairs? Well, get in front. Get in front.
Can you hear them?
No, I can't hear them.
Where are they?
You there?
Right, hang on. I'm just saying.
Right, okay.
Bolt.
Is it the top or the bottom?
Summoned by Stuart, we were released from our temporary incarceration by Carl and Kath. We had all experienced something strange and unexplainable in the tower and the prison. With daylight approaching, we decided to bring the investigation to a close. Our ghost hunt has certainly produced a night of ferocious activity, and I wonder what parapsychologist Dr. Kieran O'Keefe's take on it will be.
The Most Haunted team investigated Oxford Castle. During the course of their investigation, they did experience some fascinating phenomena.
So Thomas, sorry, you think he was a warder?
A number of people actually conducted a vigil in the tower.
Careful.
Now, for me, this part of the investigation was the most impressive, and trying to find an alternative explanation for it is very difficult. The group went up the tower and they went into a particular room, closed the door behind them, but then it appeared to lock shut. They could hear the bolt coming down and essentially locking them in, to the point where they actually had to call Carl for help.
Please show us a sign. Whoa, careful.
Carl was in another part of the castle conducting a vigil with Kath, and he then went up the stairs and unlocked the door and could show that there was nobody out there at that particular point in time.
The top one's bolted.
There you go.
Oxford Castle Unlocked has given us a night of frights and fascination. Tread warily if you decide to make a visit there. Until next time, sleep tight.
Well, next tonight, teenage angst is one thing, but when you're a vampire, yikes. Mix on the case of a teenage boy preying on female escorts. Nail-biting and neck-biting drama next in Brand New Moonlight.